Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashem Kakadash, double and the apostles and elders of Great Millstone Rule and Shalom. To all the brothers doing the work of Sincerity and Truth. There goes this article on Yahoo News from AFP. It says, Digital health in spotlight as pandemic shifts tech show focus. So this is what digital healthcare is in the spotlight at a tech industry's big event this week amid a pandemic that has highlighted the importance of remote services with a potentially lasting impact on medical delivery. The Consumer Electronics Show, which is being held online from Monday, will showcase technology for remote patient visits, biosensors, and a range of other gadgetry that can help people avoid doctors' offices and waiting rooms. So yeah, you're seeing the angle coming out again of tech related to health, which this is a thing we know is, if you know the prophecies, these things are going to be tied up with the mark, man. And that's where they're kind of leaning towards with these things, because this is what biosensor and range of gadgets. Okay, let me read on. So it says demand for telehealth services was projected to have risen 64% in the US alone, according to Frost and Sullivan researchers. And then this underscoring the need for better communications platforms, home monitoring devices, and more. Yeah, home monitoring devices. That's gonna be that mark. They're gonna say, okay. I think they mention so let me. It says we have learned that going into waiting rooms with other sick patients can be problematic, and people are looking for other ways of getting care. Said Samir Kumar, a family physician and a founder of MedWand, which is expected to launch its device with 10 diagnostic tools for remote care this year. Kumar, who was speaking at the CES panel, said that the pandemic also exposed gaps in telemedicine, including a lack of accessible internet for some population segments. One of the big problems is the lack of the ability to examine patients remotely. And then, the solution to that is, well, they mentioned this MedOne has like 10 diagnostic tools, but then as well, that's where the mark can come in as well, because they say, like, okay, it monitors XYZ. And I remember they said before they can use it for dispensing them, where they have like implants already for women, for essentially for the pill, where instead of taking the pill they just have an implant and it regulates releasing it into their system. So these are all things that are going to be centralized into that system, and they're being introduced and getting people comfortable around them, because that's where it's going to lead, in that health angle. And now as well with the pandemic situation, you're basically going to have a much wider berth of ways of of basically pushing these different technologies and getting people to accept them, man. So it says companies have been developing remote tools that can be used at home, including stethoscopes, otoscopes, heart and blood pressure monitors, but need to show that they are highly accurate in order to gain regulatory approval, Kumar noted. CES exhibitors will be showcasing devices that monitor the elderly living alone for signs of medical issues, wearables that help with early detection of diseases, as well as various diagnostic tools. Yeah, them wearables, that's the same kind of thing. Just like how that's been like from the financial side, been normalized by like what Apple Watches, tapping with your phone, tapping with your card, and even with you have the events like where Barclay Pay, they'll basically give people the wristbands and then top money up on that, and then you just touch. That's all these things are basically gonna make it so when the mark is introduced, it's much easier for people to accept, man, because it's been a gradual kind of slow burn over time to kind of introduce these things, which really ain't that slow. It's kind of moved quick because it's gone from like swiping, signing to chip and pin to like contactless, and now like phones, devices, watches, whatever, all these things. It's gonna be similar with the medical devices, and it's the end result, the end goal is what the elites have desired, man. Getting everyone chipped. So it says diagnostics. So it says also on display will be an array of workplace health gadgets from smart thermometers to air purifiers and sanitizing robots. Yeah, they mentioned fucking sanitizing robots, but it's these kinds of things. I think it's more for building up the Internet of Things, having all these kind of devices that will kind of be regulating and monitoring different things, and then having them linked in with the system. So then because that's like a lot of these things. Because like even like heat, I think it's called Nest, the home heating thing. Is it Nest? I can't remember the name, but it basically it's like a smart home, like a thermostat, all these kinds of things. You can turn the heating on, like when you're on the way home and shit like that, and then link it up with timers or whatever. But then it's linked with your device. You can have it monitored like over the internet, and that's like same with your fridge. You can have your fridge linked up to like Amazon or whatever place you would order food from. So it's like if you run low on certain things, then you can order. No, it will automatically just order it by itself to be delivered, like anything you run low on. So all these systems are being developed, and people are accepting them, and the convenience angle is like the biggest angle. That's how it looks like most people are gonna eat it. They're just gonna be like, oh well, it's just how we do things now. It's so much more convenient, saves so much time, XYZ. And that's how they're gonna have people pushing these things, man. Because hey, people eat it, people cheer for it, man. Just like with Elon Musk with the brain chip, man. When that come out, people are like, oh yeah, you have access to AI, blah blah. Everyone's ready to get, partake in that, because it's been what's the word? Not modeled. It's been not sold. It's been advertised. There's a word I'm looking for, man. I can't remember it. Okay, so it says digital records analytics. Says another important element for remote medical care is keeping track of health data using analytics tools to better understand the risk for C19 as well as other diseases. It says with more people turning to telemedicine, sometimes a physician might not have an existing relationship with a patient, so there's critical need for their medical history. Oh, and this was something I remember they did the advert in the States where they kind of had like I think it was someone having a stroke or something like that, someone like an elderly person passing out. Then they said like, okay, yeah, you can get a chip which have all their medical history on it. So it says, yeah, we've developed various medical applications with medical history, which you can share with a push of a button. The platform, which is available for individuals and insurers, also uses AI to help assess risk for people affected by the Rona. So yeah, like with that, they're pushing the app, but then it shows that the mark technology is already there, but they're just making it an easier sell, and then they'll shift into it because people and as well when you get integrated, you get used to using something. It's like once you start using like contactless cards or whatever, it's like you're not gonna be able to just go back and then a lot like nowadays you couldn't even get a card unless it's like maybe an international card. You're not really gonna get a card that's gonna be like swipe and sign. Like when a lot of these technologies after a while they become obsolete because like push chip and pin might also go the way the dodo, and then and then they'll just leave it on the thing where it's like it might just be on your phone or contactless cards because like the phone they have like the biological angle as well. So this that integration of like technology and health, these are things that are it's all about that mark, man. All about that mark, man. It's getting people ready to get chipped, man. Revelation 13 and 16 says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So yeah, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to participate in society without that mark, man. And that's how, that same thing's being said with that Maxine, where you're gonna be restricted from access to certain things if you ain't got it. Just like how they're trying to push for I think in a state in the US did it, but they're trying to make it. Oh no, Wales. It was Wales. I think in Wales they made it so if you don't have a face mask, well, yeah, I think if you don't have a face mask, you can't shop. So it's like dependent, like essentially it's gonna restrict, and with Maxine as well, it's gonna restrict what you can access if you don't have it as well. All these kinds of things. So yeah, it's you can see where Esau's going, and hey, this thing's is speeding up. We're definitely in that time, man. But yeah, I'll leave you there. Shalom, Yavashim Shabashim Shalom.